You understand English, you watch videos, you listen to podcasts, you read articles. You don't really struggle to understand. But the moment someone asks you a simple question, something strange happens. Your mind goes blank. Not empty, but it's just stuck. You know the words, you know the meaning, but you can't form the sentence. And in that moment, you feel something very specific, and that's called frustration. Because you think, if I understand everything, then why can't I speak? This is not a vocabulary problem, my dear. This is not a grammar problem, also. This is something deeper. There is a gap between understanding and expression. And today we are going to break that gap completely. Let's get started. Most people think if I understand English, I should be able to speak it. But understanding and speaking are two completely different skills. Understanding is very passive and speaking is active. Understanding is the recognition and speaking is recall. Let me explain in a very cut short method. When you watch a video, you recognize words. Your brain says, yes, I know this. But when it's the time to speak, your brain has to generate language from nothing. And that's a different process. It's like watching someone playing cricket and actually playing cricket. Yes, you may understand the game perfectly, but that doesn't mean you can perform under pressure. Now, let's understand the silent learner trap. This is where most people get stuck. They consume English every day with videos, movies, reels, and podcasts. But they don't speak. They become what I call is the silent learners. They understand everything, but they never train their brain to respond. So when real conversation happens, the brain panics because it has never practiced output, only input. Next strategy I have for you when the mind goes blank. It is the moment. Let's break that moment down. When someone asks you something in English, your brain does three things instantly. It tries to find the right words, it tries to form a correct sentence, and it tries to avoid mistakes. All at the same time. This creates pressure. So, your brain freezes and pressure slows thinking. Not because you don't know English, but because you are trying to be perfect. Speaking is a skill, and like any skill, it needs practice. You cannot build speaking ability just by listening. That's like going to the gym, watching people lifting weights, and expecting your body to grow. Your brain is like a speaking muscle, and if you don't use it, it stays weak. Next, we have a trap called the perfection trap. This is the biggest hidden problem. You're not trying to speak, you're trying to speak perfectly. So instead of saying, I went to my friend's house, you pause, you think, you edit, and you hesitate. And by the time you speak, the flow is gone. Fluency is Fluency is not about perfection sentences. It's about continuous expression. Now, let's talk about the real fix. Here's what actually works. Stop trying to sound perfect. Stop trying to respond. Speak before your sentences is fully formed. Use simple words. Let's mistake happen. Train your brain to react, not calculate. Because fluency is speed of thought, not complexity of language. You don't struggle with English, you struggle with using English in real time. And that changes. The moment you stop trying to be correct and start trying to be clear, someone speaks to you in English, don't just wait for the perfect sentence, just respond. Because that's where fluency begins.